Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Chaos to Calm Budgets. This is my channel where I am cash stuffing and budgeting our way out of £76,000 worth of debt. It's been a while and I'm very well aware of that. So apologies to my regular viewers and those that have recently subscribed that I have not been very good at keeping on track with these videos. I am working very hard to try and make this a bit of a ritual habit, trying to tag it into kind of my, maybe it'd be a Saturday job, along with like cleaning the bathrooms and doing the other odd jobs that you do at the weekend when you've had a full week of working. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do going forward, but it has meant that I have not been reviewing my budget, which also means that, and you will notice, I don't keep on top of the tracking and looking at, like, we overspend essentially is what we do. So, or I overspend. Hubby isn't really much of a spender really. He always says that I'm in charge of the money, but that works for us. Each couple is very different, aren't they? So what we're going to do today then is we are going to review the budget for this week. We're going to cash stuff or put the placeholders in the relevant folders, and just kind of review where we're up to with everything, and then I will be doing a weekly video going forward. I say I will be. I swear I am time blind. That's what it comes down to. I feel like I've got more time than what actually I do. For anyone who has ever or is studying while they are working, I feel your pain. This is because that's what it is essentially. I've got quite a high-end, intense job that kind of takes everything out of me every day. Also raising 2 kids, and then yeah, we are. I'm also studying for an apprenticeship in leadership and management. So yeah, that's taken a lot of my time as well. But I've still got to keep on top of this. So, and this is worth doing because I need to ensure that we are not overspending. So let's have a look at where we're up to. I haven't therefore reviewed last month. What I have done though is set up for this month. So what I want to do in terms of my month's goals, I want to, because we've already moved our joint account and our individual accounts to Monzo, that's already been done. It's just my daughter's account. She's currently still with Halifax, but I want to move her across to Monzo as well. We just like the infrastructure and what it offers in terms of the pots and just kind of reviewing everything in there. So that's what I want to do for that. I need to catch up on my pound challenge. I am a little bit behind. We have earned some money through some vintage sales, and we've also got top cash back that I've withdrawn as well. I've still got some quite a bit that's still pending, basically from holidays that I've booked, and I think they don't release it until you've actually had the holiday, because obviously what you could do is cancel and get the refund. So that's what they do with that, which is understandable. So I've still got lots still pending on that. And I'll withdraw when I can, but I have withdrawn some, so that has given me, I think it's 72 that I've withdrawn, that I can add to my wallet, and I can also cross off on my pound challenge. That's good. I am going to aim to do 4 YouTube videos this month, so this will be number 1, and then I'm going to do one every Saturday going forward. And then I want to do is one of those videos, I need to review my debt, because I haven't done that I think in the last 2 months. So review where we are up to with our debt payoff, and looking at our savings journey as well, of what we got in each of our pots as well. It will be one of those, because our holiday for 2026 this year, we're off to Cornwall for a couple of weeks. That final payment is due this month, so a lot of the savings that we've got at the moment, that's going to completely deplenish the savings, but that's okay because that's what we saved it for. In terms of what we've got coming up, we've got a weekend or an overnight stay in Cardiff. My brother-in-law is doing a charity ice hockey match, and we wanted to go and see it because it's in honour of my dad. So we're going to go and see that hockey match. We've also got this murder mystery guide. So this one here, that's for Cardiff. So we've done one in Edinburgh before. They're really good. So we want to take our children, and we're going to go and do the Cardiff one for that one. And then we've got that, and then the following week we've got a Birmingham one, so we're going to do that with some friends. So I've got £80 that I budgeted for the Cardiff overnight stay, because that's for food and drinks and things like that, and we're taking all 4 of us, so it needs to be enough for that. Hopefully that will be enough. £70 then for the murder mystery that we're going to do in Birmingham, and that's with some friends of ours. So We've got £70 budgeted for that. Then I am taking my sister-in-law to afternoon tea for her very belated birthday treat, and I budgeted £40 for that. I'm going to try and get a voucher where it will be a little bit more cost effective than kind of booking directly, so I'm gonna give that a go. And then we've got an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet for my nephew's birthday we've been invited to, and I've had a look at what the cost is per person. It's be 4 of us, so we are looking at £100 for that, because including some drinks as well. So we're budgeting for that as well. We should be on week 23 of our pound challenge. I don't think we've got enough there to catch up with that, but we will work bit by bit. My daughter has got guides. It was supposed to be on the 1st, but that's been cancelled because the venue that they use is a school. It has a 2-week half term. I think it's the last year they're doing it, actually, so their school isn't going to be open next week anyway, so they're not holding a session, so that means that she's got 3 sessions there. And then my little man's one-to-one sessions at £25 each for his football, they're all there as well. So that's all of that. We've already got some pennies that we've already paid off, so I've moved, because it comes out of my Monzo single account, the bank account fee, so that gives us our coverage for like mobile phones, travel insurance, all of that. So that's already been sat in my account, so that's taken out of the joint. And then yeah, some of these Apple One, Netflix, this all comes off my Monjaro jab, which I am slowly coming down off. So this one here, the 269, is for the, which milligram is that? That'd be the 10 milligram. So the next one I get after that will be the 7.5, and I am slowly try dating down to come off it. I think I've gone as far as I can with it, to be fair, and I can't justify the cost any longer. So I'm slowly coming off, just so that it doesn't, you know, be a lot of it a big hit or anything when we come down. So that all comes off our Amex credit card, so I've already made those payments on there, so that's all paid for as well. So that's all of that, and then obviously we'll track as we go there. Okay, so let's do the yeah, just to double check that. Yeah, so I've added in what our wage, the child benefit, my little man's DLA, and the £5 we get contribution towards our Netflix from my in-laws. That's £6,497.32. That's our income. And then all of this going out plus the savings, which we will go through, is £6,494.27. So we are £3.05 under on terms of that. So it's always good to have a little bit of a leeway. It might be that I end up putting that into the pound challenge. The other things that I've got coming up that I've had to factor in, so in terms of food, fuel and fun, I put in an extra £20 for electric. When we come back from Cardiff, we're going to have to top up a little bit in my car, so I put in 100 rather than the standard 80 for that. Obviously the fun I've already gone through, and then I budget for the £150 a week for food, and that covers everything in terms of supplements, well no, not really supplements, but more cleaning products and things like that. And then other things, so we've got to pay from our emergency fund. If you've been watching my previous videos, my husband has done a fabulous job with his dad in landscaping our garden. It's cost about £1,000 to do, and we've basically utilised our emergency fund to cover it. So this is his credit card that we need to pay off for some materials there. But yeah, about £1,000 to do that, and I think we've probably saved ourselves around 4,000 or 5,000 if we were to have got a landscaper in. They've done a sterling job with it. They've proper levelled it, stepped it off with sleepers in, and yeah, it's done a brilliant job with that. I do have an amount building up on my Amex, and this is where basically I've gone awry over the last couple of months, so I'm making a note of that. It's manageable, because basically what I'm spending on it per month I'm paying off every month, so I'm not actually getting charged any interest at this rate, but I do want to make sure that I'm planning going forward in paying that off. Our Antigua trip, so I've still got I've worked out that I've got £2,708.28 still to pay off on that and work on that. My 40th birthday party, I've worked out that there's about a budgeting those are fixed costs, the DJ, the Vegas tables, the room hire, of what I've still got to pay off on that. I've budgeted £100 for any decorations and about £200 for buffet. I might combine those for that, and that is because I'm going to do my own buffet as well. So £1,000, £1,075 I've got to think about in terms of where I'm going to find that as well. And then we have booked our 2027 holiday, because I haven't had enough holidays this year. This is for 2027 though. It's our family holiday. What we try and do is we do an abroad and then a staycation, and abroad and then a staycation. So next year we're going abroad, and we're going to Egypt the first week of the school holidays, and we are also taking our niece and nephew as well. So that's why it's at £4,823.98. We have found a brilliant deal. Hotel is absolutely fine. It's a sort of 4-5 star Egypt standard, but 4-5 star holiday hotel. So it's brilliant, and it's got an amazing water park there, so the kids will have lots and lots of fun. And then what I've worked out is I've got to make sure that we pay £2,783.14, because I have already earmarked. So my husband tends to get about the £1,000 bonus in the January pay, and it's £404 council tax break that we get for the 2 months between, I think it's February and March, and then we get 4 months of a break on our water rates, so that's £457.04, and then we get 13 child benefits, whereas I only budget with 12 child benefit payments a year. So we'll have an extra one towards the end of this year, and that'll be £179.80. So with all of that minus taken away from that figure, that's what I've still got to find when we come to pay for it, which shouldn't be a problem, because it's not due until pretty much the month we go. It's with EasyJet holidays. I don't know if anyone's used them before, but they do look pretty good actually. You kind of get what you pay for, which is kind of great really, I think. So yeah, we'll go with that. So that's all of that. I am going to be cash stuffing, I think it's 130, so that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130, so that's ready to go in there. And then the rest will be placeholders, and then I've got my next lot of scratch cards. So this is the running scratch cards that we had from when me and my daughter won our father's scratch cards that my father-in-law bought us at Christmas. We all got one at the dinner table. It was great fun, and I'm still going. So basically whatever I win, if it's anything less than kind of a tenner, I will just trade them in for other scratch cards. So there's 2 there from the last lot we've done, and you never know, we might win big. We'll just see, but it's not really cost us anything, so we're going with that. Right, let's start going. So in our first folder, this is kind of the short-term one that we pay out on a weekly basis. I've got £100 sitting in the Monzo pot ready to pay by bank transfer when that happens. So we'll put £100 in there ready to go for the month. My daughter's guide, so I had £3 still left over from her tuck. I give her £1 a week for her tuck for there, and then we're paying towards her guide camp that she's got in July. The last one is due this month, it's £15, so I've put that aside in a pot on Monzo, so I will just put that on here until I get round to transferring it and paying it. I was paying in cash before, but I just think it's easier if I just do the transfer. Food gets the standard 600 at £150 a week, so I'm going to do it like this, I think. Is there a 300 there? Yeah, so 300, 400, 500 and 600 there. Goes in there. Fuel, I'm doing 100 this month, and I'm going to do it in 20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That's because we tend to top up £20 a week there. So far, given the price of fuel, we're just finding that we're driving my car more, so I'm just kind of watching the mileage at the moment. I have got a quote to increase the mileage on my car because it is a lease car. I'm only paying for what mileage I use. So I'm just keeping an eye on that at the moment, and we'll just see, make a decision from there. So 290 to go in to, there's the 200 there, yeah, 290 for fun. So 100, 200, and then 20, 40, 60, and 80, and then 10 to make it 90. 290, we'll work very hard to keep into on budget with that. Right, medium term next. So these are ones where we go into about once a month. So where that's kind of a weekly one, this is kind of a once a month kind of job. So hair. We did borrow some hair from the hair budget for something, I don't know what it was. So I've just upped it by a tenner just to make sure that we've got enough to cover my next hair appointment, which will be coming up, I think, in July, and then my hubby's and son's hair appointment, which is about £30 a time. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80 and 90. They go every 4 weeks, and that's okay going every 4 weeks, because the way that we've worked it out, they are getting haircuts just before some of the big things that we're doing. So we're doing things like our holidays and things like that, so where they'll, you know, before he goes back to school, that kind of thing. So that falls well, but it has meant that I've got to put a little bit extra in basically to cover it. And then nails gets the 40. I've still got another week or two, I think, out of these ones, so I'm going to hold off a little bit longer. Same sort of reasons for my husband and my son's haircuts as well, so it will fall nicely for when I go and go on holidays and got big events and things like that. So that's 40 for that. Right, house maintenance gets its regular 50. Which goes in there. Beauty is 30. So skincare and makeup. I do need to get some more makeup coming up. I use the Laura Geller set, so I need to get a new kind of palette before I do go to Barcelona. I like using it, particularly if I'm travelling and things like that, because it's easier to carry around rather than the liquids, because we're not going with any hold luggage, we're going with carry-on only. Clothes will get 30. I'm going to use this for school clothes, so we've had to basically, again, the overspends and things like that is all I've had to buy my daughter some new shirts, school shirts, and my son some new trousers for school. So we've already covered really for what new uniform they might get for September. So I'm going to save some of that really for some of their school uniform. 50 will go into the birthdays and occasions. So this month we've got one birthday, my nephew's, and then we've got Father's Day coming up. So hopefully that will be enough to cover for all of that. And then family fun is 20. So we've done a weekend. This is weekend number 1, and we haven't used any of that. So you would have seen on previous videos where it was kind of like one of those getting paid and then splurging, and I'm trying to challenge ourselves to try and spread it out a little bit more. And then this one here is miscellaneous, and that gets 20 as well, and that's just for any sort of overspends and things like that that might occur, and we'll try not to dip into it, because then we can put it towards the pound challenge. Now you'll see on the this folder we did have a lot of IOUs from different pots for various different things. I've had a play around with this, and I've moved basically, so we're utilising one pot for an IOU, and I can just focus on making sure that we're paying that pot back rather than having everything everywhere. So that's what I've done. I have got £72 to put into the pound challenge that I told you about earlier on. I will find my trusty calculator, because you will see on here I've got £6 left to pay on week 35. I missed week 40, so I need to pay 40 on that. So that's 46 of the 72 that I need to pay or need to add to. So 72 minus 46, that's 26, and that's 34 that I've got to put in there. So that won't be all of the money in that. So that will mean minus 34, I will owe 8 from there. So I'm going to colour in these ones here. Bear with while I get some colours. Need to find the orange to finish that one. And we'll go for another pink, because I do like a pink, and we'll do a green. There we go. So finish off this one. There, we can finish off number 40, because I missed it when I was going down. There, and then we can do, let's going to be 8 still to pay, so I'm going to put the number 8 here so I know, and then I'll only cover in half of it. There we go. So that's somewhat towards trying to catch up on pound challenge. We should be on week, let's have a look, 23, so we should be here. I've labelled it there. So we've got about 4 weeks to catch up on. That's fine, we'll get there. So I'll put 72 into here. I'll put 70, I think. 50, 60, 70. I'm going to put 75. We'll round it up. No, we'll round it down because it is less than half of what we owe. So 70. Right, next is car maintenance. That will get it standard 50. I think there's 50 already in there, so I might just change that for, keep it condensed. What have I got there? 250, so I'm going to put 300 there. We'll give that 200 back. Right, my phone repair is building up nicely. When I tried this before, I was dipping into it all the time, but I haven't touched it. So that's something I'm quite pleased with myself. We're letting it build up. I need about, I think it's about 280 to get my screen, you know, with a proper repair with Apple. So what's 100, 120. Just keep leaving that to build up. It doesn't stop the function of it. It's just aesthetically, it's not very good with the crack in it. It's annoying me a little bit. It got broken because my little man, bless him, was being a little bit silly with a bag, swinging it around and knocked it out of my hand. And it's just been a forever growing crack in it for some time. But yeah, hopefully we'll get it mended soon. Then travel spending money is, I'm going to put in 30, so that'll make it 60 altogether, I think. So this is for our holiday to Cornwall at the end of the summer holidays. I'm not overly putting money in there. We will want some extra spending money. There'll be things that we want to do there, but if you think about it, because it's been a staycation, I'm also thinking about kind of the money that we would ordinarily use at home. For that kind of holiday as well, that we could use as our spending money, so our food budget and things like that. So I don't think we need a massive amount of spending money. So yeah, we'll add to it. Right, holiday 2026, I'm going to put 150. I had reached the target for this, however we'd obviously borrowed from it, so I need to make sure there's enough in here for when we pay. I need 2,900 to pay this month, and I've got 2,555, and I need to put in 150, and then I'll have a look at see what we can do to condense it down. So I'll change that and we'll put 100, another 100 in there. In fact, I'll put 200. There we go. So I might have to borrow from a pot, another pot, just to make sure that we've got enough to pay this off this month. So 1,000, 2,000, 500, 600, 700. So about 200 short, which is fine. It will be there. It will be from a different pot. Anniversary trip 100. My 40th birthday trip to Antigua at the end of the year, putting in 280 into this one. So I'll put into 100 there, and then 50, 60, 70 and 80, and I don't think I can condense that down. 1,000, 100, 200, 300, 400 and 90. 1,490, that's building up nicely. We need, I think it's about shy of 4,000 on there, so we will get there on that one. 100 to go into Christmas. There's 500 already sitting in there, so our budget for Christmas is from £100 a month, and that's £1,200, so that we're halfway on that one, which is good. And then this is the pot that I'm utilising. It's where we put £200 aside every month of my little man's DLA, so we have just over 400 coming in. Half of it kind of pays for a lot of his activities that he does every week, so his one-to-one football and things like that, because he struggles in bigger groups. And then and his swimming lessons, they are smaller classes, all of that comes with an extra cost to meet his needs. And then we're saving £200, and we're lucky enough that we can do this because he isn't actually diagnosed yet, and we're on well, it's probably about 2.5 years now, but it was a 3-year wait list for him to get diagnosed, or an assessment for diagnosis. So we're saving to go privately, essentially. So that's what this is building up for. But I have borrowed from it from a different pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 200 in that I would normally put in. So that's 150 and 200. And then I'm going to come back to it because these can come out of some of the pots to start paying some of it back, and we'll make sure that it is going back into this pot. So I'm just going to put this into some numerical order. So it's 100, 150, 200, 250, 275. That will be in there at the moment, and I will come back to it to clear off. So £100 going into subscriptions. So this is around I've run out of £100 one, so it's going to have to be the 250s for now until I do some swapping around. So this is to cover things like insurances, anything that we pay up front, and we try and pay as much as we can up front because we then don't get charged interest on things like car insurance and house insurance and all of that. So we're building that one back up again, and then £100 for emergencies, 200 in here already. I haven't got any hundreds left, so I'll just have to use 20s for now. 2, 3, 4 and 5, so that's another 100 there. Right, and that then leaves us to go back to the DLA pot, and we'll start pulling from different things. So let's start with subscriptions. It says 290, and I've just put 100 in there, so we'll take 100, and I'm going to make a little note to make sure that I move it on the pots in Monzo. So that's that one, and then I can move that down. I just need to let the little pen. I'm going to use a pink one, change it up a bit. So I'm going to move that down to 190 owed from that pot there, and then if I get a fresh bit, just to make sure that I'm going £100 subs to DLA. So I'll do that off camera after. Miscellaneous, that's going to be when I can find £150 to replace that, but £25 from health and beauty. So I think I purchased a load of skincare at the end of last month, so I needed to get that paid. Health and beauty is the middle one, I believe. Let's have a look. Yes, there. And I think it's got 30, so I'll take 25 and then put 5 back into there. Keep the 25 there to go into the DLA pot. So that's the right wallet, yeah. There we go. I can cross this one off. There we go, that's that one then. Next one is birthdays. Birthdays again is a middle one, so we'll take £10 out of this one to pay back to that pot. So I need to put 40, so, and then 10, that's the 40, 10 to go into the DLA pot. Those ones there. Condense some of these down in a minute. Ooh, closed it off, didn't mean to do that. So 10 in there, cross it off. And make sure that I put a note of it so I know to move it from birthdays to DLA. Wonderful. Then we've got, I'll do anniversary trip and then we'll come back to the pound challenge. The anniversary is in this folder, 40th anniversary, and I owe £30, so we'll take the 100 back and we'll put 70 in there. So 60, 70, and then I've got to put 30, there we go, into DLA. Need to look at condensing, start to condense this down because I'm not going to have enough. So let's have a look what I've got. Oh, let's do that in a minute. Let's do one thing at a time, otherwise I'm going to lose track. So we'll cross that one off there, and we will do 30 from anniversary trip to DLA. That probably would have been paying off what I borrowed to pay for airport parking. So whatever we're building up in the anniversary trip now is just purely spending money. So I've got 100, 200, 300 there. Let's swap that one out first. So 50, that's 50, 100, 300. Then what have I got here? 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, that hasn't worked, but 95. So let's do the 50, swap it out for 100. So 50, 60, 70, 80. There. We'll check that. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Swapping that out there. Go. Then that leaves us with 20, 45. I'm going to change that, those two 10s for a 20. There we go. I'll probably condense it down then again in a minute because I've got the pound challenge to add to it. Pop that back in there. So I've got two lots of pound challenges, and I don't know why I've listed them separately. So I've got 175 and 450. So I did put in, let's have a look. So the pound challenge is, as you can see how it works, I've been putting £52 in week 1, 51 in week 2, so on and so forth. But I've already spent some of it because we took my daughter to Paris this year, so that's been covered there. I'm going to take 70, and that will be then 105 owed. So I'll put 70 there. I'm going to change, cross that out and put 105 owed out of there, and find the DLA pot. There it is. Probably can't condense it down even more again. So we've got 300, 400 and 45. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. So let's move that 110 and that 5 there. Ooh. Then we put these back, condense them down. Lovely jubbly. So we've now got 300, 400, 500, which is that one there, 515 that we've paid back into that account. So that's good. That's what I like to see. We're starting to get back to even Stevens, which is what we need. Because at some point, my little man will need to have his assessment. It's going to cost us about 2,600, I think, for his ASD assessment. So yeah, £70, £1 challenge to DLA, and I'll make sure we move that across after I've finished this, and then the IOUs can go back into I'll rip that out. Right, rewrite it back out again so it's neat and tidy. I can read it, but that'll do for now. The only thing left then for today's video is my scratch card. So let's see if we've got any winners. I hope we do, because I just like the idea. You know, I'm not even bothered about winning big. I just want to keep this going. So I've got a match 3. Yeah, match 3. Or if I've got a little symbol like that, I win whatever. It's the bonus bit, whatever is in that. So 5, 100, 5,000. Oh, another 5 there. We got another 5? No, 5,000, 1,000, 1,000. Nothing there, I don't think. It's the 2 5,000s, 2 1,000s, 2 100s, 2 5s and a 4. Yep, nope. Not happening. And then, oh, winner! Oh, 4. Excellent. So we'll definitely have scratch cards for next week. And then what we got here? Oh, we've got the big one. 5 there. 40. Another big one. 1,000, 5. Yeah, nothing there, is there? Is that right? Double checking. 2 of the big ones, 2 of the thousands. Yeah, nothing there. Right, anything on there? No, nothing there. Well, we'll take 1. We'll take 4. 4 scratch cards for next week. Excellent. Get rid of that. And that is us done. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me this week. And thank you for your patience. And I will definitely make every effort to record for next week. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.